Hello and welcome back to another video of the Wrestle Debate and to another edition of Raw out of 10. An interesting show today. Of course, we got the fallout from Hell in a Cell. Now, I think most people agree that Hell in a Cell was kind of just a final stopgap before we're back on the road at long last. But yeah, it still was an interesting show. And we've got Money in the Bank qualifiers coming up, so let's get straight into it. Raw kicked off with Lashley, who came out with MVP and his entourage, and they were celebrating the win, and Lashley gloated, saying that Drew McIntyre can't have another opportunity. They were just about to crack open some champagne when New Day came out with a tray full of toast and they threw it all in the ring. Before Kingston said that MVP and the ladies were only around because Bobby Lashley, the champ, was going to lose the gold soon, and they wanted to maximise their time. Before Kofi ran footage of him beating Lashley last month, and Lashley then challenged Woods to a Hell in a Cell match out of nowhere, and he accepted. Blimey, I'll review it later, Jesus Christ. But anyway, next up we got AJ Styles versus Ricochet. Ricochet sent AJ to the outside early on, but Styles countered the one and only off the dive and tossed him into the ring post. Back in the ring, Ricochet hit AJ Styles with a clothesline. He hurt a Northern Light suplex, followed by a vertical suplex, but he kicked out. Ricochet countered the Styles clash and the Pele kick before hitting a German suplex for a near fall. The Viking Raiders attacked Omos after the argument they had backstage and put him through the barricade. AJ went for a phenomenal run but was taken down off the distraction before Ricochet got the pin. 6 out of 10. This kind of came out of the blue, but I'm not against it. Ricochet winning can only be a good thing. So yeah, it kind of does set a theme though. Backstage on Raw, however, Riddle wanted some pointers for Randy for the Money in the Bank match. They both used their own qualifiers, and Riddle joked about if they were both in a ladder match and said it would not be funny for him. Before Eva Marie was backstage and said that she had a cold last week, preventing her from competing, while her protege introduced as Down Drop, which she wasn't very happy about. So she competed. But then we did get Asuka and Naomi versus Eva Marie and Piper Niven. I'm just flipping calling her that. Asuka and Eva started the match, but Marie tagged Niven in before the match kicked off and retreated to ringside. Asuka was being knocked around, but managed to get some big strikes. Niven then came in and hit a cannonball and nearly got the pin on Naomi, but Asuka broke the tin. Eva forced the tag. Eva was trying to make the tag out, but Daldrop was sick of her antics. Niven was sick of her antics and stepped off the apron before Naomi rolled Marie out for the win. 5 out of 10. Good to see that flipping stable lasted long. 2 weeks must be a flipping record. Jesus Christ. Deville and Adam Pearce were out to settle the Raw Women's title dilemma. They called Rhea Ripley out for abusing the disqualification rule to retain her title last week. Charlotte joined them and said that she was proud of Rhea for making a smart decision. Sonya and Adam scheduled a rematch at Money in the Bank before Raw continued. Great. Tamina and Natalya were backstage and ended up getting in a fight with Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke, just like last week basically, before we got Randy Orton versus John Morrison. The Miz was on commentary and Orton had the early advantage. The match went outside and Randy dropped Morrison on the announce table with Miz cowered behind it. Morrison went for the submission on the ring while Raw went for a trailer of Cena's new movie. Randy then grabbed Morrison's hair and broke the hold before taking him to the corner. Miz came up at Randy with a dripstick to face, and Orton was furious. Morrison got a near fall off the distraction before Riddle came in on his scooter and chased the Miz. Orton was distracted with comedy outside and Morrison got the Starship pin to get the win. I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10. Yeah, you can kind of see where this is going with all upsets, but Morrison's great, he deserves it. Orton probably won't be harmed by the loss. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross were then teaming up against Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. Alexa debuted a strange new entrance theme as she reunited with Nikki Cross, who was debuting a superhero gimmick of her own. Shayna and Nikki kicked off the match and Cross got some shots in before Jax came in. And Cross sent Jax outside, hitting a big dive before Alexa tagged in. Bliss took some offense before she managed to get a hot tag and hit the sunset flip powerbomb for a near fall before Nikki and Nia tagged in. Nikki ran at Nia and was caught before she slipped out. Alexa came in and hypothesized Reginald to try and slap Nia. He stopped himself at the last second and Nia hugged him. Nikki took out Nia and Reginald with a dive before Shayna got the win. 5 out of 10. Why the hell were they even teaming? That's all I've got to say. But anyway, backstage, Jinder, good to see him by the way, Cedric, Sheamus and Jeff Hardy were arguing about who should get a qualifier. Jinder hindered injuring another competitor if he didn't get it. I mean, you're probably going to be injured by then anyway, Jinder. Sorry, pal. But we got Riddle v Drew McIntyre next. Riddle was being tossed around the ring. The original Bro managed to hit a huge Bro Tom and then lifted Drew for a massive gut wrench suplex outside the ring. Drew was sent into the ring post before we headed for a break. Back to the ring, McIntyre took an exploded suplex and another Bro Tom, but got his knees up. Drew was still recovering from last night, mounted some offense. Riddle was being tossed around before Randy Orton came out to watch. Drew hit a future Scott DDT, but Randy managed to roll him up to get the win. 6 out of 10. Randy looked less happy with the result, and Riddle tried to keep him, but Orton just kept brooding. 6 out of 10. Good for Riddle to get the win. I didn't want Drew in the ladder match after all the opportunities he's had, so I'll take it, I suppose. Mansoor was asked Riker for advice from Roy. Riker told him to let his enemy escape, and he said he will face Elias in a strap match next week. Ali came and said he had to find his own way before he got Bobby Lashley versus Xavier Woods in a Hell in a Cell match, because USA Network were upset that Fox got one. Just ruined the prestige of Hell in a Cell. But anyway, Lashley unloaded on Woods after taking a dropkick in the corner as the match began and hit a neck breaker as Xavier went for a roll up. Lashley kept the pressure on and hit some big slams before sending Woods outside. Woods went for a chair, but Lashley punched the chair away. Xavier kicked the champ into the cell wall before giving him a steel chair. A table was set up in the corner, but Woods got caught in the apron where Lashley stomped on his face. Woods got a kendo stick and stabbed Lashley in the neck with it before setting up on the table. Lashley sent Woods through a chair in the corner before hitting a spear and a hurt lock to get the win. 5 out of 10. This was kind of bloody pointless. Raw this week gets a 5 out of 10 from me. Raw was a funny show this week. We had lots of surprise results, and the Money in the Bank ladder matches are certainly shaping up to be interesting. And of course, we also got a pointless Hell in a Cell match. So yeah, definitely more on Raw than I was expecting at least a few days ago. But anyway, guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts, comments down below. And follow me on Twitter. Link in the description below for daily wrestling news. And subscribe to the channel as a free like now. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.